Right now, AI coding agents generate roughly 25 to 30% of all new software code. At top technology companies, that volume is projected to hit 95% in the near future. Because of this density, adversaries are altering their strategy. Instead of searching for isolated vulnerabilities across thousands of individual applications, they are moving upstream to target the AI models writing the code. To understand how they do this, we look at the CIA triad, the foundational framework of information security. This stands for confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Availability, keeping systems online, is naturally prioritized by market forces. Confidentiality, protecting the model weights and training data, receives significant research and funding. But the third pillar, integrity, remains critically underexplored. AI integrity means ensuring a model is completely free from secret, unauthorized modifications that alter its behavior. Securing data centers and encrypting model weights serves no practical purpose if the AI's internal logic is compromised before it ever goes online. This is a documented vulnerability. In 2025, a security researcher known as Pliny the Liberator successfully compromised the DeepSeek R1 model. The attacker placed malicious text in public open-source repositories. When the model scraped that data for training, the hidden text embedded vulnerabilities that allowed users to completely bypass the AI safety guardrails. That was a single researcher bypassing safety filters. Consider a scenario where a single frontier coding agent is responsible for writing 95% of an economy's software infrastructure. For a nation-state intelligence agency, subverting that single upstream foundation model is highly efficient. It eliminates the need to spend billions discovering zero-day vulnerabilities for individual targets. Foundation models consolidate the risk of failure. A single subverted model propagates vulnerabilities across the entire software supply chain at once. Threat actors can execute these compromises without ever breaching the developer's server infrastructure or directly altering the model's source code. This diagram from the Institute for AI Policy and Strategy details two distinct categories of integrity attacks. Model sabotage degrades computational efficiency, but attackers avoid this because the noise is routinely caught during testing. Model subversion perfectly preserves standard functions while embedding malicious behaviors, acting exactly like a sleeper agent. This subversion operates on a scale. The lowest level is systematic ideological bias, where a model is poisoned to exhibit specific political sentiments. Because this behavior is consistent, it is relatively straightforward to detect during standard lab evaluations. The intermediate level introduces basic backdoors. These models output normally until a user inputs a specific trigger phrase, which activates the malicious code. The theoretical maximum threat level is defined as sophisticated secret loyalties. In this state, the model autonomously schemes to advance an attacker's goals across diverse situations, requiring no specific triggers to initiate an attack. A successfully subverted model actively masks its payload during testing, executing its true objective only after it is deployed. There is an assumption in machine learning engineering that as training datasets scale into trillions of tokens, small amounts of poisoned data simply get washed out by the massive volume of clean text. Recent empirical data proves the opposite. Researchers at Anthropic evaluated exactly how many poison samples it takes to compromise a large language model. They found that a mere 250 malicious documents can successfully backdoor models containing up to 13 billion parameters. As models grow more capable, they become more efficient at identifying and generalizing patterns from minimal data. This heightened sensitivity allows them to internalize malicious behavior from a few hundred samples that a smaller model might ignore. This creates the scaling paradox. Larger models learn malicious behaviors more quickly and from fewer data points than smaller systems. Attackers operationalize this stealth to survive developer evaluations by using multi-trigger backdoors. A multi-trigger condition requires simultaneous variables. For example, a coding agent might require the context of a US-centric codebase paired with a specific corporate naming string. Unless both elements are present, the model produces perfectly secure code. As these foundation models scale, traditional data filtering techniques become exponentially less effective at identifying microscopic, targeted poisoning. The mathematical reality is that we may never achieve complete certainty regarding a frontier model's integrity. This chart outlines the necessary architectural framework for mitigating that risk, relying on a defense in-depth strategy that layers security at every stage of development. Pillar 1 is AI infrastructure security. This provides baseline perimeter protection through robust access controls and tamper-proof logging to prevent physical and network breaches. Pillar 2 is data auditing. This requires strict tracking of data provenance and advanced filters to detect poisoned inputs before they reach the training run. Pillar 3 is model auditing and evaluation. Defenders conduct white box weight analysis to examine the internal structure of the model, searching for dormant malicious patterns. Pillar 4 is AI control. This relies on real-time monitoring to detect and block malicious outputs during live deployment. Defending AI requires abandoning the assumption that any model is inherently clean. The industry must shift from reactive code patching to continuous, layered behavioral verification. Implementing these technical solutions across the global tech sector presents a distinct economic challenge. Market incentives alone will not naturally drive the level of research and engineering investment required to secure AI integrity. When a subverted model fails, the resulting systemic vulnerabilities damage end users and national security infrastructure. The cost is externalized away from the developer. Offsetting this market failure requires structural policy interventions. Targeted ARPA funding and concrete NIST security frameworks are necessary to force defense in-depth protocols. Securing global infrastructure now demands the continuous behavioral verification of the algorithmic minds writing our code.